Bible Stories Illustrated, From Genesis to Jesus. If you are new to this channel, be sure to like, subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications for a 10-minute illustrated Bible story every day. In this video, you will hear the powerful story of the night God made a promise to Abraham that would change the world forever. After rescuing Lot and defeating powerful kings, Abraham returned home safely, but his victory did not bring him peace. Instead, Abraham began to wonder what would happen next and whether the promises God had made to him would really come true. He had won battles, traveled far, and left everything behind to follow God. Yet one thing still had not happened. Abraham still had no son. Without a son, the promise of a great nation seemed impossible. One night, after these thoughts filled his mind, God spoke to Abraham again. God told Abraham not to be afraid and promised that he would protect him and reward him greatly. But Abraham answered honestly, because he did not hide his doubts from God. He said that he still had no child and that everything he owned would one day belong to someone else. He reminded God that the promise of a great nation could not come true if he remained without a son. Then God gave Abraham a promise more powerful than anything he had heard before. God told him that his own son would be his heir and that the promise would not pass to anyone else. But Abraham still could not see how this could happen. So God did something unforgettable that night. God told Abraham to step outside and look up at the sky. Abraham walked out into the quiet darkness and looked upward. Above him, the night sky was filled with countless stars shining in the darkness. There were so many stars that no one could possibly count them. Then God spoke again and gave Abraham one of the most important promises in the entire Bible. God said that Abraham's descendants would be as countless as the stars in the sky. In that moment, Abraham made a choice that changed everything. He chose to believe God, even though nothing had changed yet. He still had no son. He was still growing older. The promise still seemed impossible. But Abraham believed God anyway. And the Bible says that God counted Abraham's faith as righteousness. That moment became one of the most important moments in the entire story of the Bible. But the story did not end there. God was about to make a covenant with Abraham. In those days, a covenant was not just a promise, because it was a sacred agreement that could never be broken. God told Abraham to prepare animals for the covenant ceremony. Abraham obeyed and prepared the animals exactly as God commanded him. Then something strange happened. Abraham fell into a deep sleep, and a great darkness came over him. In that darkness, God spoke again and revealed something about the future. God told Abraham that his descendants would one day live in a foreign land. They would suffer there for many years before finally being set free. But God also promised that he would judge the nation that oppressed them. And after that, Abraham's descendants would return to the land God had promised. This promise was not only about Abraham's life. It was about the future of an entire nation. While Abraham slept, something mysterious happened. A smoking firepot and a burning torch passed between the pieces of the animals. This was the moment God made his covenant with Abraham. It was a promise that would never be broken. God promised the land, the future nation, and the countless descendants who would come from Abraham. When Abraham woke, the night was quiet again, but everything had changed. The promise was no longer just words. It was now a covenant. Abraham still had no son. Nothing looked different yet. But from that moment on, the future had already been decided. God had made a promise that would shape history forever. And in the next video, you will hear the dramatic story of the moment Abraham and Sarah tried to help God's promise happen in their own way.
Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to help spread the word of our Lord. Thank you.